This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. Well, we got Diddy. We talked about this. Diego dropped him. Diageo, whatever you want to say, okay? This is a big liquor distributor. They distribute many brands, okay? They dropped him because after 15 years doing business, he started calling them out for not putting a lot of marketing dollars behind his tequila and everything else, saying it was racism. I think this was a play that backfired on Diddy, okay? Because, first of all, he's made almost $1 billion with this company, okay? $1 billion, okay? And it's not, think about it as a company standpoint, people aren't running to buy Ciroc anymore, really, you know? Like, it's like all liquor. Casamigos has its thing right now. It'll be another tequila in 5 years. You know, it used to be Patron, remember? Remember Avion? Remember, you know, like it goes through cycles, okay? There's probably not a lot of demand for Ciroc right now. There's not a lot of demand for his tequila. I've never seen somebody drinking De Leon tequila, I'm sorry, except for it's on Drink Champs because they're sponsored. He tried to play here. He probably wanted to get off of Diageo and take it somewhere else, right? Because they bought in 50-50 with Ciroc, if I'm not sure. Like, they say he put up no money. They say he was the value he was bringing was his likeness, which is worth a lot, right? So they put in the money to buy this Ciroc company from another family in Bordeaux, right? And this was a great thing for Diddy for 12 years, I'd say, maybe 13 years, you know. I guess it started going sour the past 2 years when, you know, they're not giving him the same. Think about it. If you're used to getting something from a company, right, and they'll do whatever you want because you're in demand, you're providing them with sales and everything. It's business. They're using you and you're using them. It's just business, you know. Once you look at business of two people using each other, once you're not useful anymore, one's going to get rid of the other, right? So Diageo just pulled back financing, and Diddy threw a temper tantrum because he wasn't getting the same funding, and he called it racism. It's called business. When Diddy doesn't put out your third album, right, and you throw a temper tantrum, Diddy says it's business. You're not selling. You don't have the records, right? It's the same thing for Diageo. Let's not say, oh, Diddy's right. Diddy's not automatically right. Diddy's used to getting his way. I mean, he treats artists just as bad, okay? Look at it for what it is, okay? Playing the victim didn't work here for Diddy. And he's a billionaire, and they're going to still have to buy him out. So he's going to make plenty of money, so don't feel sorry for Diddy, you know? They're going to either keep Ciroc or let it go, you know? We'll see. Then we got Jay-Z and Alicia Keys, 9 times platinum now with a New York record. I'm starting to think Jay-Z's got all the, you know, he's got all this extra money now because he sold his a portion of the champagne. He sold a lot of stuff, and he's very, you know, we know Jay-Z has a lot of money. I think he's buying some records back because all of a sudden, all these records are going multi-platinum again. You know, the one with Kanye, this one, they're all going. I think even Blueprint when another platinum, you know, another million. I would do the same thing if I were him. I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to get these record sales. I'm going to boost my sales, you know, like, let's not lie and say we know that every Jay-Z album that's dropped in the past 20 years has had a brand, a corporate brand attached to it to make sure it's sold in the first week. Heineken, Sprint, you know, like he always had a deal going with something. So they would purchase a certain amount of albums to give out as promotion or whatever, and it would guarantee sales the first week. Jay-Z's used to doing stuff like this. It's good. It's good for business. It looks like, oh my gosh, this guy can't stop winning. You know, it's like Young Thug's business is business. First week sales actually drop 23,000. So he was projected to do 110. Now he's going to do 87, which means him and Gunna did the same first weeks. It's kind of, I don't know. His plan was to sell more than Gunna. I mean, think about it. Gunna had no features. Young Thug had Drake, 21 Savage. Now he has Nicki and Juice WRLD on there, and he was doing that to try to get those last. You know, now it makes sense why it dropped on a Sunday night or a Monday night. What was it? Sunday night? But it was Monday night. It dropped because they were trying to get the sales up to put Juice WRLD and Nicki on it. For some reason, people aren't streaming all the records. There's even more. I think Travis Scott's on it. It's just a lot, you know, and still only did what Gunna did. But Young Thug's not out of jail to put it together. So you got to give him that much credit. Okay, so more stuff about the YNW Melly case. Now they're making the case that there's no way, you know, their whole thing was like, oh, it was a drive-by shooting. That's where he might lose this case. Because they say it was not a drive-by. Based on the evidence and his experience, it was clear a drive-by shooting did not kill YNW Sack Chaser or YNW Juvie. So that really means that only YNW Melly or YNW, is it Bortland, could be the only ones that could have done something. Right? I know people were like looking at like, oh, they don't have this, none of that. It's really up to convincing the jury at this point because it's so convoluted. There's like evidence that says, hey, they don't have a lot of evidence. And then there's evidence to say, well, who else did it at 4 a.m? You know, it's like, it's unfortunate for YNW Melly because he's the one who wants to get out of jail. That this happened at 4 a.m. He chose to do this so late in the night, not during the day. There would have been a lot more doubt if this happened during the day. This happened at 4 a.m, you know? And they all were seen getting into the car together. So this is no shade to Adam 22. Everybody lives their life differently. He does explicit videos with his wife. And they would only do girl on him, right? I guess, you know, that's what he always says in his podcast, right? It's not like I'm checking this out. So then his girl, he now gave his girl a green light to go do other dudes. That's a different kind of lifestyle, man. I mean, you know, people do that. It's cool. They have a kid together. They're happily married. Maybe there's a 5-year plan here where she just needs to get, you know, as much money as possible up, and he is, and they're going to retire. They do make a lot of, I mean, she makes a lot of money doing this, and he makes a lot of money doing what he does. Hey, she's going to Pound Town with another man. Adam reacted to it and said, "White." I mean, it's funny. At least he has a sense of humor about it. Airbnb revenue collapse in 10 cities. It looks like revenue's down in many cities between 50 and 30%, which would really might make people release their properties soon. There might be a flood of properties getting released. Because if you're down 50%, now you're not making that much money anymore. You're kind of just like possibly only getting what you need to pay your mortgage and keep your place going. And then you got repairs and stuff like that. Plus, a lot of people are done with Airbnb. There's too many fees and this and that. I mean, this is a problem with a lot of places where you go to rent things. You know, there's a lot of fees involved. You know, it looks like a good price and there's fees. I had to comment on this, and no disrespect to this guy, but I saw Joe Budden podcast put this rapper. They highlighted him. He redid No Limit, make him say, "Oh, bro." This was horrible. Let's see, Amityville rapper Young Dom gets shouted out in the Joe Budden podcast after flipping a classic. Okay, it's Joe Budden, not himself doing it, his friends. Poor taste in music. This was horrible. I'm sorry. I like their banter on there on the Joe Budden podcast, but this song was not. I mean, unless they got paid or something, I don't get it, because it was bad. It was like the flow and everything was just not interesting, But everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm sure he has other tracks that are good. Young Dom, Official Roseanne Barr. When is Lizzo gonna thank me for paving the way? I don't know. Roseanne, stop. This is good. Scarlett and all these other New York female rappers sit down, including Lola Brooke. And they say they're saving music and they're saving New York hip hop. It's time to pull back on female rap. I love females, and females that can rap. Lola Brooke can rap. Scarlett she has a song. I'm not into the other stuff, but it's cool. Bro, there's only a few good female rappers. Okay, you got Nicki, Lola Brooke. I guess you could put Scarlett in there. What other females can rap? There's some other ones that I don't know their names off the top of my head, but they can rap. Not the Sweeties, not the JT and Young Miamis, not the Kalis. No. There's very few female rappers. Just like there's very few male rappers that can rap now too. Okay, it goes both ways. Rap is just in a bad state, and when it's in this bad a state, I guess girls support girls a little bit more. Let's just be honest, because they're selling. Anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News. I'll appreciate you. I'll check you on the next one. Let's see. And peace.